Welcome to this live program. Um, this is the first of its kind on this channel. We want to thank you all who are presently connected online. We know that it takes a lot of sacrifice for you to be here with us, and we don't take it for granted. Also, we want to apologize to the many people that send us messages, send us questions, send us issues that they are facing in their marriage or relationships, and we are not able to respond to as fast as we should. This is something that we do on a part-time, and so we are not able to respond to all the messages we receive from the thousands of people as quickly as we would have wished. And that is the reason why we thought about a program like this, so that we would be able to answer a number of questions directly. And then those who have questions also who connect can also ask a few questions in addition. So without wasting more time, I would go straight to the questions that we received. We've selected a few of them. We could not take all of them. Some of them too were similar questions, so we selected one out of it so that when we talk about it, it will cater for the rest of the questions. So we've asked God to help us through this process, that He would guide us to be able to share with you, and His Holy Spirit would guide us to be able to answer your questions, and marriages and relationships would not be the same after this program. Amen. The first question we have is that I'm a young lady and will be getting married soon. I wish to know the financial responsibilities of husbands and wives in the home. This is a question that comes up a lot nowadays, where people, particularly ladies who are about getting married, want to know what financial responsibilities there are that they need to also contribute to. This was not a question in the past. In the past, we had a traditional system of running the home where the man took full responsibility of almost everything that had to be done. Some of us grew up in that traditional system where our fathers took responsibility of every cost that was incurred in the home. But that is not the situation for every home. And so there's no laid down rule on who has to take care of what responsibilities. So if you decide that you won't go with the traditional method, that is where a man takes care of all the responsibilities and the wife just contributes as she wants to, then you would go with what we call the conventional method. With a conventional method, the two of you will need to sit down and decide on what contribution each member will make. That is how the conventional method. And this agreement, both parties should abide by this agreement. And also you should ensure that you renew this agreement, this arrangement periodically, because financial situations can change along the way. And as they change, it is important that you look at the finances from both sides and what you can contribute. Let's understand that what is important is that the family has to be catered for. And the important thing is that there is no selfishness and everybody prioritizes the family. Nobody chooses to spend more on other things or on selfish interests, more than the needs of the family. As long as that is done and everybody contributes as much as possible, yes, the greater responsibility always as a man of the house, as the head of the house, is on the man. But as a wife who is a helpmate coming in to help, the two of you should sit down and find an arrangement that suits the two of you. What is also important is that both of you should be responsible to that agreement. Whatever you agree that you are doing, if the man says, I'm going to take this set of bills, I'm going to take the electricity bill, I'm going to take care of school fees, I'm going to do this, you as the man should do that. If you, the lady, also decides that I am going to do, maybe take care of food in the house, make sure you do what you have agreed. Be responsible, and that is the most important thing. So for our young lady, we'll say you have two options. When you agree with your man, whether you're doing the traditional system, if you're doing the traditional system, great for you. So the man takes care of every responsibility. That is not usual in our times, because costs have gone up and things are difficult for one person to take care of the family alone. So you come in, have an agreement, agree on what you have to do. And whatever you agree, stick to it and periodically review it to suit the incomes that you both have. I hope I've tried answering that question. Our second question was, please, what do you do? Please, what do I do when I'm in a relationship but my partner denies the relationship behind my back when he's being asked about his relationship? So our young lady is in a relationship, and whenever the guy is asked about the relationship, whether they are going out, he tells the people that there's nothing going on. With that kind of situation, it's important that you find out from him. Don't try to rush into conclusions quickly. Some of us grew up in a very strict Christian home. And in my home, for instance, even when we got to the university or we were past 25 years, you could still not send a lady to the house and say, oh, this is a lady that I am dating. There are very strict homes like that. So the fact that your guy may not be introducing you as the person he's dating does not necessarily mean that he's not serious with you. And that's why I said it's necessary you find out. You should talk to your man and say, the last time you introduced me as your friend, or when this person met you, you said there was nothing going on between the two of us. Why do you do that? Then he can explain. But if he's not able to give a good explanation, then it is obvious to you that he's not taking you serious. And then you have to think through. Because if it is not the situation I talked about, but is a case where he is the type that is an open home, he even with his friends, his close friends, he's lying about it, then you have something to be concerned about. And so what is important is that you will quickly speak to him, find out his reason. If it's not a sound reason, then you should know that you have a difficulty to deal with. Because whenever there is that secrecy, it could be so many things. It could be one, he's not sure about you, and so he's not willing to show you to anybody. Secondly, it can be the situation where he has other girlfriends, other people that he's dating, that he's not ready to show you, and actually he's just playing games with you. So whatever the situation, what is important is that you should approach him. When you approach him, then you will be able to find an answer to your question. And then you can take action based on what answer that he gives you. Okay, so that is the second question. The third question we are dealing with today is, I have been in a long distance relationship for over 3 years now. I stay in Kumasi. We are planning to get married now, and my husband to be insists that I have to move to join him in Accra after the marriage. I am used to this place and I play a major role in my church, so I wanted to stay here for about 3 more years before I join him. He has become silent since I told him I don't want to join him immediately after getting married. This is a young lady who is almost getting married. They have been in a distant relationship for a long time, but she wants to stay where she is even after the marriage for a while because she is committed at church. She's used to the place and she wants to stay there. She doesn't want to move to where the husband is. I can tell you confidently that yes, there are so many troubled marriages where the two people are living together in the same space. But one thing you must know is that it is extremely more difficult to deal with a distance marriage than a marriage that you stay together. There are so many challenges that come up with distance because marriage is for a purpose. The man is marrying you because he wants something from you, not necessarily only sex, but he wants companionship, he wants friendship from you. And that's why he's choosing to marry you. And so for you to say that, even when I get married, I want to stay away for 3 years because I am committed in church. It's great that you're committed in church and it's good that you are serving in church. But you are putting your marriage at risk. And any serious man definitely will act the way that he's acting. He will go silent on you because he needs you for a purpose. He's marrying you for a purpose. So it is necessary that you also be eager to spend time with him. So it is important that you reconsider your decision, start planning towards moving to where he is so that you can stay with him. It is the best thing to do. So you start your marriage together, you live together, you understand each other, and you grow together as a couple, than to decide, in this particular case, to be in a distant marriage by choice. That is not the best to do. So it's important that you try your best to move to where he is. The fourth question we are answering today is, my husband shouts and beats our children, and I'm not happy about that at all. When he is doing that, I intervene and he gets angry. What should I do? So in this particular case, the husband, when the kids do anything that is wrong, the husband steps in and beats the children, and the wife feels that that is not the right thing to do. They are children and they shouldn't be beaten. That is when there is a disagreement in how to train your kids. And this happens in a lot of homes, especially today, that a lot of us are trained in different ways of training kids. The first thing is that do not publicly intervene. And that is exactly what is making him angry. What you are doing is setting him against the children. Because when openly he's scolding the children, he's angry with the children and trying to beat the children, and you intervene, you are telling the children that he is a bad parent and you are a better parent. And that would definitely make him angry. So what you do is that you choose a time away from the children and have a conversation with him and explain to him what is necessary, what you think should be done. It is explaining to him and explaining that you think that this is the best way you need to deal with the children when they do something wrong, and this is the way you think it should go and why you think so, and have a conversation with him. But do not intervene in the heat of the moment to paint a bad picture in front of the children. You are not helping the parenting. Parenting is supposed to be a group activity, and both parties have to be seen to be going in a single direction. So it's necessary you talk to him, explain how you want the children, but also it's important to know that children have to be disciplined. And so do not think that when they do something wrong, they shouldn't be disciplined. Children have to be disciplined. And so both of you need to agree on what discipline you would put in place. But that discussion has to happen away from the kids. And you have to make a convincing case to be able to get him to also agree with you. And also, if he comes up with reasons why he goes the way he goes, you need to be ready to also listen to him and run with him. I think that's the fifth question was, is privacy, especially with our phones, allowed in marriage? Is it okay for me to periodically check my wife's phone?